Hello friends, welcome to TekTuts tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about vectors in Java. So, what is vectors? Vectors are basically dynamic array. It means that we can expand or shrink it down according to our use. So, why do we need vectors? Because in real life we deal with variation in data, that is we exactly don't know how much data we are going to handle and what types of data we are going to handle. So for that we need some list, that is collection, to store that data. So we use vectors for that. For example, in banking system, if we are asked to handle data of customers, new customers, then we can use vectors to store data of new customer. That is, whenever number of customer increases, vector will automatically expand, and when number of customer decreases, it will automatically shrink. So let's see how to handle data using vector. For that, first we have to import a vector which is inside util class, java util. So import java util dot vector. Now let's create a vector. To create vector, we there are four types. So vector v is equals to new vector. If we type in this way, this means that we are creating vector v, which has a default size 10, and if we want to change size, then we can use another method which accept one parameter as a size of capacity of vector. So we can specify one parameter, that is capacity, and if we want to specify capacity and increment also, that is whenever the vector get full, then we need to increase the capacity of vector. So whenever vector is full, then increase capacity by, let's say, 4. So we can use a third type, that is vector, which a vector constructor which accept capacity and increment capacity. Next, we can use a vector constructor which accept some different type of collection. For example, if we if we create a vector v1 and we say that vector v1 should have all data from v, then we can just pass a v inside vector. So these are the five constructor. That is, first is default, which has a default capacity of 10, and second we can specify capacity, and in third we can specify capacity as well as increment in capacity, and in fourth we can directly pass a collection. So this, and the case with this is that these are going to accept object. That is, whenever, for example, we need to add any element, and for adding element we use add method. Let's say add, then we have to pass object, because this vector is going to accept object, means all type of data. For example, we are if we need to pass integer, then we have to create first object of integer, that is new integer, and pass number. Let's say we want to add 12. So in this way we can add object into vector. This is the vector which will accept object. But if we want to work with only single type of data, uh, for example, we want to handle just integer type of data, then we can use generic type of vector. Generic means that we will specify the type of data that we are going to deal, and for specifying this we use angle bracket integer. In the same way, if we are going to deal with a string or other type of data, then we can specify And now let's add some elements to it. Let's say we want to add 12, then 10. There are two methods by typing add, that is add method we can add elements, or add element we can add element. Add element is a new one, and this add is old one, which is inherited from its collection framework collection, that is legacy classes. And we can print it system dot out dot println, and we now it will print a vector which has two values 12 and 10. See here. And if we want to see capacity of a vector, then we can use capacity method. See here that it has the capacity 10 because we here used default constructor. And if we use parameterized, that is, let's say we want to give it capacity as 12, then we can specify here and now run it. See here that it has capacity 12. And if we want to see size, that is element, how many elements are there, then we can use a size method, v dot size. See here that it has a size 2, that is it contains two elements. And if we want to remove any elements, then we can use remove. And index, let's say we want to remove 12, then we can give index 0. See here that let see here that it has only one value 10 because we removed 12 here. And if we want to remove 10, then we can pass index 1. Vector index start from 0 as like a array. And if we want to add any, let's say we want to add v1 v2 v1, then we can use add all method. Add all method add collection to the vector. Before that we have to create vector v2 v1. Now here if we say v1 dot add all and pass it collection v, that is vector v, then it will add all elements from v to v1. Run it and let's print out v1. See here that v1 has same elements 12. And if we want to clone it, then we can use clone method. Let's say we want to clone v1, then we can type v1 dot clone. See here that it has same elements. And if we want to change it to string format, then we can type uh, use method to string. And see here it has element 12. And if we want to, if we want that size and capacity should be same, then we can use trim to size method. Let's say we want to trim v. Now we will have a capacity of 2 because it has two element, no, 1 because it has one element. So let's print it out. See here that it has capacity 1. By removing trim to size, capacity will be 12. Right. Next, we can see whether elements are inside a vector or not by using contains method. Let's say we want to use it for v1, then we can type v1 dot contains and pass object 12. This will give index uh, boolean value, that is true or false. And if we pass any other value, let's say 13, then it is not inside a vector, then it will throw false. Now we can use enumeration, that is we can enumerate these vectors. Let's enumerate. We can enumerate vectors by using elements method. So type e equals to v dot elements, and now elements from vectors are passed to enumerate e. Now let's print it out from enumeration. For that, type while enumeration has a method has more element, which checks whether it has more elements or not, and system dot out dot println e dot next. It has a element, that is next element, which will show next element. See here that it is printing two elements, 12 and 10. Even we can use a iterator here. Iterator iterates through elements of vectors. For that, we have to first import iterator. And we can type now. See here that we used iterator for v. So now let's iterate while ite dot has next. Iterator class has a method has next and next. So let's use it. System dot out dot println and next v dot next. Sorry, it dot next. See here that yeah, 12 and 10. This 12 and 10 is because of enumerator, and this is because of iterator. And we can check first element and last elements of vectors by typing last element and first element method. Let's see it. System dot out dot println v dot first element. See here that first element is 12, and by typing last element method we can check last element. Last element is 10, and we can check whether vector is empty or not by using is empty. False, it is not empty. Next, we can remove elements from vectors. For removing, I said we can use method remove, right? And if we want to remove all elements, then we can use v dot clear method. It will clear all elements inside vector. See here that it has no values. So this was a vector class, and we saw how to use vectors and how to handle data using vector. Thank you guys. If you like this video, press thumbs up down there, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any query, please comment down below. Thank you.